What if I told you that Carlos Alcaraz just sent the tennis world into a frenzy without stepping onto a court? Because while Spain battled their way through the Davis Cup finals, one photo, one tiny detail inside Alcaraz's living room, became the headline fans couldn't stop talking about. This is Net Rush Report. Let's get straight into it. Carlos Alcaraz may be sidelined with injury, but from thousands of miles away, he managed to steal the spotlight at the Davis Cup finals. Spain fought through an intense tie against Czechia to reach the semifinals. And while the players on court delivered the drama, it was Alcaraz's unexpected social media moment that became the real showstopper. The story begins last week at the ATP Finals, where Alcaraz pushed himself through a brutal run before suffering an injury in the final against Jannik Sinner. He originally planned to represent Spain at the Davis Cup finals. He said he wanted to fight for the flag no matter what. But his medical team had other ideas. The risk was too high. He had to withdraw. So, for the first time in a long time, Spain entered a high-stakes Davis Cup week without their biggest star. But this is where things get interesting. Even without their world number one, Team Spain didn't collapse. In fact, they stepped up. Jean Munar embraced the pressure and delivered a massive win over Jiri Lehecka. Pablo Carreno Busta fell to Jakub Mensik, but the tie swung back Spain's way when Marc Granollers and Pedro Martinez secured a dramatic doubles victory over Tomas Makak and Mensik. The result? A 2-1 win and a ticket to the semifinals. But while the team was fighting in Bologna, Carlos Alcaraz was watching everything unfold from his living room at home. And that's when the internet exploded. Alcaraz posted a photo to Instagram showing him cheering for his teammates, sitting casually in front of his TV. Nothing unusual at first glance. But fans, being fans, zoomed in, and suddenly the entire tennis world was talking about what they spotted in the corner of the image. Two trophies. Not just any trophies. The US Open trophy and the Wimbledon trophy, just sitting casually on the floor beside his TV, as if they were no big deal. That tiny detail became the biggest conversation of the day. Fans joke that Alcaraz keeps Grand Slam trophies the way most people keep houseplants. Others laughed at how relaxed he was around awards that players spend their entire lives trying to win. Some joked that even injured, even resting at home, even watching TV, the man can't help but remind the world who he is. And honestly, it was peak Alcaraz energy. Effortless, unbothered, a champion without trying. Support poured in as fans shared screenshots, memes, and messages, calling the moment legend behavior, main character energy, and the most Carlos thing ever. But beyond the viral moment, there was a deeper message. Despite being injured, despite having to withdraw, Alcaraz was still emotionally invested. He wasn't just watching, he was celebrating points, encouraging his teammates, and making it clear that his absence didn't mean he wasn't part of the mission. And now, Spain moves on to face the winner of Germany versus Argentina in the Davis Cup Final Four. But Alcaraz's Davis Cup support was only part of the news. The other headline, he still finished the season as world number one, despite losing the ATP Finals championship match. That's right, in the year at number one. Alcaraz needed 3 group stage wins in Turin. And he delivered, taking down Taylor Fritz, Alex de Minaur, and Lorenzo Musetti with that signature combination of power, speed, and insane athleticism. His run at the ATP Finals didn't end with the trophy, but the ranking points were enough. And when the dust settled on the 2025 season, Alcaraz stood on top of the world. And what a season it's been. 2 Grand Slams, 8 titles. A brutal, exhausting, unforgettable year. He lifted the French Open trophy in Paris, then stormed through New York to win the US Open. He added title after title, Tokyo, Indian Wells, Queens, and others, to solidify a season that will be remembered as one of the strongest of his young career. But even more impressive, the way he carried himself. Through injuries, scheduling chaos, pressure from rivals, endless comparisons to legends, Alcaraz kept finding ways to win. And that's why this latest moment, him casually cheering from home with 2 Grand Slam trophies in the background, hit different. It reminded fans of who he is at his core, a 22-year-old who has already achieved more than most players accomplish in a lifetime, and yet still behaves like a grounded, humble kid who genuinely loves the sport. And here's the key takeaway. If this is what Alcaraz can do in a year filled with injuries, interruptions, and massive expectations, Imagine what he'll do when he's fully healthy. Spain is headed to the Davis Cup semifinals. Alcaraz is ending the season as world number one. And even from his living room, he's managing to go viral without even trying. Fans weren't just cheering for Spain. They were cheering for the image of a young champion who has already built a legacy and is only getting started. If you enjoyed this update and want more breaking tennis stories, emotional player moments, and real insider reactions, make sure you're locked into the Net Rush Report. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. If you want SEO titles, thumbnails, text, keywords, or a shorter version, just tell me.